IEP Facilitation The Basics. IEP stands for Individualized Education Program. The IEP is a written document that describes the educational plan for a student with an identified educational disability. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, requires that each student with a disability who receives special education services to have an IEP written for him or her at least annually. This educational program helps the school meet the student's special needs. Among the elements contained in the IEP are describing how the student's disability affects the student's ability to benefit from the regular education curriculum, what skills she or he needs to learn, what accommodations or modifications will be provided for the student to benefit from the regular education curriculum, what services will be provided, and the amount of time the student will spend in regular education. An IEP team must include the parent or guardian of the student, at least one regular education teacher, if the student has services in the regular education environment, a representative of the regular education district who has knowledge of the curriculum and available resources, other individuals that the parent or guardian or district deem necessary, and the student, especially if considering transition service needs. The IEP members can be excused from all or part of an IEP meeting if they submit their information in writing and the parent or guardian agrees to excuse them. The link below will take you to more information. Parents or guardians should be notified in writing at least 10 calendar days prior to the proposed meeting date. Included in this notice should be the date, time, and location of the meeting, as well as who is invited. If desirable, the parent or guardian may waive the 10-day notice and the meeting can proceed before the 10 days elapse. An initial IEP should be scheduled within 30 calendar days of the eligibility conference. Best practice for annual IEPs is to schedule them 30 days in advance of the expiration of the current IEP. This allows time to gather information and to deal with any scheduling conflicts which may arise. As mentioned in the IEP facilitation slides, when calling the parent or guardian to schedule the IEP conference, it is important to make sure that they understand the purpose of the meeting. The parent or guardian should also be informed about what will be discussed and about how long the meeting will last. Inform them of the participants who will be attending and their roles. In the event that someone will be unable to attend or will have to leave early, ask the parent or guardian if they are comfortable with excusing them. If not, you will need to reschedule the meeting so that all team members may attend. Choosing a place to meet that will best meet the needs of your team is important. It should be a private place where team members will feel free to discuss information. Try to ensure that the team members, especially including the parent or guardian, are comfortable and that the room is large enough to accommodate larger groups. The room should be easily accessible to all. Initial IEP should be scheduled within 30 calendar days of the eligibility conference. It is a good practice to schedule the conference as soon as the eligibility report is completed. You may or may not have received the teacher file at this point. This will ensure that all team members have sufficient time to prepare for the meeting. Please note, the IEP must both be held and initiated within that 30 days. For annual IEPs, it is essential that you give yourself enough time to schedule. and maybe reschedule. Best practice is to schedule the meeting 30 calendar days prior to the expiration of the current plan. Having sufficient time to gather information and making sure all participants are able to attend is extremely important in order to avoid being out of compliance with the legal timelines. You must also consider the possibility that the meeting may not be completed in one session. In the initial and annual IEPs, the contents of the IEP remain the same. However, the initial IEP conference will possibly need extra time to address placement issues. The DESE requirement is to have the IEP to the parent or guardian within 20 calendar days. To ensure that this requirement is met, SSD requires that the staff finalize or lock the IEP within 10 calendar days of the IEP conference and distribute the IEP to the parent or guardian within 15 days. In the event of a parent requesting subsequent releases of the IEP, best practice would be to support the family making the request by connecting them to the documentation process and necessary forms available on the public website front page. Please check with your administrator to see what timelines are within this general framework. When meeting with the parents and guardians, it is important that you greet them as they enter the room. Have the team members introduce themselves and announce their roles. At times, with larger groups, name tags will be helpful. Show an understanding for the parent or guardian's feelings and demonstrate that those feelings are important. Although the IEP and its components are legal requirements, it is essential that you are aware of and respect the family's concerns and their feelings. Demonstrating warmth and kindness will go a long way to help make the parents and guardians feel more comfortable. By redirecting and sticking to an agenda, you can show that you are in control of the meeting. This greatly increases the likelihood of a timely and productive experience. It is also very important to comply with DESE and SSD timelines for locking and distributing the IEP to the parent and guardian.